On both sides, Republican and Democrat are urging voters to cast ballots in Georgia's upcoming Senate runoff elections. Hundreds of thousands of those are likely to be absentee.
Yeah, but absentee voting may become more difficult in Georgia after the January runoff is over. Republican lawmakers are writing legislation that would make signature matches more stringent and could eliminate those absentee ballot drop boxes. 11
Alive's Doug Richards has more.
The reason Republicans might want to rein in absentee balloting are as obvious as the results of the November election. At midday, business was brisk at an absentee ballot drop box in DeKalb County in advance of the special election runoff in January. In the November election, fully a quarter of the ballots cast were absentee, a five-fold increase percentage-wise over 2018's election. And the vote count showed that absentee ballots drove Democrat Joe Biden to victory in Georgia.
This issue isn't going to go away unless we make some changes.
At a hearing at the state capitol last week, Republican lawmakers had some pointed questions about absentee ballots.
What's the first line of review for the signature match?
There's some things that I would like to see happen, such as, voter ID on absentee ballots and things like that could help us.
This was Republican Congressman Doug Collins last month. Republican state lawmakers are writing a bill requiring voters to provide a reason, like illness, age, or absence on election day, to require an absentee ballot. They could require a signature match verified by a notary public, as some other states require. They could also eliminate the drop boxes many Georgia counties started using this year.
It is a real head scratcher why on earth they're irate about drop boxes.
Democrats say Republicans are trying to solve absentee ballot problems that don't really exist, except in conspiracy theories advanced by President Trump and many of his followers.
Is not only an outrageous form of voter suppression, it's also incredibly short-sighted. You never know what methods an individual is going to choose to vote by. And plenty of Republicans vote by those methods too. So I can't imagine what they're thinking.
Republicans lost a few seats in the legislature in November, but they still have enough muscle to pass a bill over Democratic opposition next year, with an eye on the election for governor coming up in 2022.
Thank you, Doug. Meanwhile, DeKalb County is expanding its drop box locations for the January runoff. Despite what you just heard, officials anticipate another record number of voters to cast absentee ballots. Right now, there are 30 drop box locations across the county, with the possibility of more being added. The deadline to drop off your ballot in DeKalb, 7 p.m. on January 5th, 2021. Cobb County is opening 2 additional early voting sites for the runoff and relocating another. This comes after criticism from voting rights groups who complained reducing advance voting sites from 11 down to 5 locations would hurt South Cobb's Black and Latino communities. Now the county plans to switch the Ward Recreation Center site to Ron Anderson Community Center in Powder Springs, and during the 3rd week of early voting will open 2 additional sites in Marietta and Smyrna.